come true. We are homeowners. Now hold on, lovebirds. Owning a house can make you so poor. And let me tell you why in this video. Hey everyone, James Santiago here with Learn Wealthy. And today, I'm going to challenge a pretty common belief that your single family home is an asset. Spoiler alert, most of the time it's not. And everybody is scrambling to buy a house. Your typical single family home is more of a liability, and here's why. Famous author of Rich Dad Poor Dad had challenged this idea way back that your home is not an asset. Realtors and mortgage brokers were furious at Robert Kiyosaki. Man, I always tell my clients to buy a house because I tell them it's an asset. How dare you, Robert Kiyosaki? Let's get one thing straight. Your house costs you money. You got mortgage payments, insurance, property taxes, repairs, upgrades. It's basically a never-ending expense. And yeah, you might have heard, but houses appreciate over time. But guess what? Homes don't always appreciate over time. Check out this historical data. This is the Case-Shiller Index, U.S. median home prices adjusted for inflation. Check out the home prices. It goes up, it goes down. It goes up, it goes down. It goes up, and you know what goes next? In fact, the house itself is depreciating while you throw money into maintaining and upgrading it just to keep its value up. You want proof? Try not maintaining your house for 5 years and see how much appreciation you get. So when a realtor tells you your house is an asset, just remember, an asset is something that puts money in your pocket, not something that drains it every month. Buying versus renting. Is owning really better? We hear it all the time. Owning a house is better than renting, right? But is it? Right now, it's actually cheaper to rent in many places than to buy the same thing. That was monthly. What about initial costs? Renting only requires 1 or 2 month deposit. And what about buying and owning? Let's add up the cost. You got your down payment, closing costs, realtor fees, and in some areas, buyers are even paying for their own agents. Renting doesn't look so bad now, does it? And when something breaks, as a renter, you call the landlord. As a homeowner, you're either fixing it yourself or paying to have it fixed. Now, the only argument that your single family home is not an expense but an actual asset is if you're not living in it and you're renting it to somebody else. But even single family rentals can be liabilities. They're not always assets. A lot of mom and pop landlords are losing money, and even Wall Street landlords are selling off properties today because it's getting harder to cash flow in this market. Let's talk about those 5 supposed ways you make money with rental properties. You got cash flow, appreciation, loan pay down, return on amortization, and tax deductions. Let's start with the cash flow. You might clear a couple of $100 a month, net cash flow. Now let's say you net about $400 a month. But one major repair, like a new roof, can wipe out a multiple years worth of profit. Even if you set aside $100 or $200 a month in CapEx, with high cost of goods today and replacement cost, you'll need some serious CapEx. In landlording, CapEx stands for capital expenditure. This is the money you set aside from your rental income for significant long-term improvements or replacement on a rental property that go beyond regular maintenance. Appreciation. Natural appreciation isn't guaranteed. As you can see on this historical data, the market corrects itself and we get downward years. And forced appreciation is not as easy as it sounds either. Buying a fixer-upper can come with costly surprises, and it's very easy to go beyond your estimated repairs if some of these surprises come up. Loan paydown. Sure, you're paying down the mortgage. At least I own this property and I'm paying towards my equity. Spoiler alert, the first 7 to 10 years, most of your payment goes into your interest and not the principal. And you'll watch your principal balance seemingly not moving year after year during your first several years of owning your home. Return on amortization. Inflation helps reduce your debt over time, but not much if your interest rate is so much higher than inflation. Today, 30-year fix is about 7%. and your inflation per CPI is about 2.7%. So if you buy a house today, you're getting a real rate of 4.3%. So the debt erosion caused by inflation in this scenario is not so impressive. Tax deductions, they help. They're one of my favorite reasons why I own rental properties myself. But before you even think of tax deductions, you first need to profit. What good is a tax deduction if you don't even profit? Tax incentives is supposed to be a bonus when running a business. Mr. Buyer, don't listen to this James right here. Listen to me. I'm the best realtor in town. Don't you know that rents always go up? So if you own a home, you don't have to deal with rents going up. And here's another harsh reality. Rent does not always increase. I started landlording during COVID and the rents were rising like crazy, thanks to all the stimulus and the PPP money. But that's not reality. That's an abnormal year. If you keep pushing rents too high, people will stop paying their rent. People will not be able to afford it. And suddenly you got vacancies after vacancies, and soon you may be out of the landlording business. Plus the cost of owning a home actually keeps rising too, year after year. They say mortgage payments are fixed, so it's a great hedge against inflation. But that's only part of the story. While your mortgage payments might stay the same, everything else gets more and more expensive. You got the homeowners insurance, property taxes, maintenance costs, especially now with inflation. They all rise with inflation, cutting into your bottom line. And don't forget the cost of running a business. If you're managing rentals, LLC fees, tech costs, marketing, and the list goes on. So where does that leave us? A single family home is not automatically an asset. In fact, it can easily be a liability. Even if you're renting it out, it's no walk in the park. Inflation, rising costs, and a challenging rental market can make it harder to turn a profit, especially right now when we're in a housing bubble, an all-time housing bubble, and tenants are struggling to keep up with the rent. Here's the thing, I'm not saying never to invest in a single family home rental. I do own them myself. I'm not getting any new ones right now, but I'll probably invest again in the future when things get better. But for now, I want to start growing and start to think bigger. Just like in a Monopoly game when you start trading those little greenhouses for a big red hotel. In real life, that's my mindset right now. Especially single family homes rental aren't as good as they used to be. So I hope you like this episode. Hit that subscribe button if you want more of these videos. And as always, for more finance, investing, real estate, and macroeconomics, let's all learn wealthy together. I'll see you in the next video.